Your company or your client's company has a dividend policy. I'll begin this valuation video from beautiful Port Orange, Florida, and my makeshift board with two questions. One, is it a good dividend policy? In other words, is it meeting the needs of your shareholders for income and capital appreciation? Or two, do you need to be working on your dividend policy? In this week's written post, I talked about dividend policy. I'll continue in this video post. Every company has net operating income after taxes, and there are 5 things that you can do with it. Number one, you can repay debt, principal on debt, and that's a good thing because lenders like to be repaid. 2, you can invest in working capital because growing companies need working capital to finance inventories and accounts receivables in current operations. 3, you can replace your existing capital stock when it depreciates. 4, you can invest in growth capital expenditures, and if there's anything left, number 5, you can distribute them. These 5 things are the 5 things that you can do with net operating income. The first 4 yield the appreciation of the business, and the capital appreciation of the business is a component of the total return to shareholders. The 5th, the dividends or economic distributions or distributions after taxes provide current returns to shareholders or the dividend yield. And the total return is equal to capital appreciation plus the dividend yield. There are a variety of kinds of companies, of course, and companies have different life cycles. Let's consider a company that is mature. There are very little required expenditures to repay debt or to invest in working capital or to invest in capital expenditures for growth, and consequently this company may provide heavy distributions, number 5. Or consider a company in the growth phase. All of its net operating cash flow, net operating income, might be consumed with repaying debt, working capital, replacement capital expenditures, and growth capital expenditures. And so there might be no dividend. In the mature company, the total return would be low in terms of capital appreciation and high in terms of dividend yield. With the growth company, the total return should be high in terms of capital appreciation and low or none in terms of the dividend. So companies can have a variety of dividend policies. Let's just look at a couple of them and mention them. Number 1, a constant dollar policy. Your company may be paying $100,000 or $1 million or $3 million a year, and you've been paying that for a long time, and you plan to continue to do that. A percentage of income. Some companies pay out about 40% of net income, 20% of net income, something like that. So a percentage of that income. A constant yield. Some companies have valuations every year, and that's a good thing, and then they pay their dividend based upon a set percentage, perhaps 1% or 3% of the current valuation. Some companies occasionally make a special dividend. Some companies have an occasional or sporadic dividend, and some companies never pay dividends. Still, other companies don't pay dividends but accumulate cash, and that diminishes the total return for all the shareholders, which is not a good thing. So now we have 2 questions. Is your company's policy, dividend policy, a good one? Is it meeting the needs of the shareholders, their desires for current income versus capital appreciation? Is it? Well, if it's not, do you need to work on it to improve your dividend policy? If you need to work on your dividend policy, feel free to call me. Feel free to call any of our professionals in our Family Business Services group at Mercer Capital, and we will work with you to develop a better dividend policy for your company. Until the next valuation video, this is Chris Mercer. Good day.